大谷翔平ニュースチャンネルへようこそ。
大谷翔平をトレードしないことは、今後10年間エンゼルスに悪影響を及ぼすだろうか。日本語翻訳字幕付きぜひ下のビデオをご覧ください。
All right, moving on to our next statement. This is the hottest topic right now and probably will be until the trade deadline. ShoheiOhtani will be traded.
I mean, my answer.
Like what should be done and what will happen?
Yeah, they're two different questions.
Two different questions.
But the statement, Ohtani will be traded, I'm going to say no. I'm going to disagree. I don't think it's going to happen. I really don't. Last week, 2 weeks ago, was very vocal about you need to get something. And for Artie Moreno, or for Ken Rosenthal speaking about Artie Moreno, saying he doesn't want to be known as the owner that trades away Shohei Ohtani, I would rather be known as the owner that got something for Shohei Ohtani than the owner that let him walk for nothing. So, look, you might say, like, you might wake up and really punch yourself for if you trade Shohei.
Yeah.
I would be more beat up over the fact that we could have this. It's not even a generational talent. It's a once in a
Lifetime.
Even more. Like
the game.
Once in the game
Yeah.
kind of player. And there's a realistic possibility that he walks away and the Angels have done nothing and gained nothing besides money for the owner and a compensation pick. Like, sick. You know?
Yeah, this is tough because I was also very vocal about this on this show and on The Herd a couple weeks ago, that I think it would be a silly business move, like you, not to trade Shohei Ohtani and get something in return. But then I've been thinking about the other side, a lot of it, and why wouldn't they if they didn't? And he is the best player in the game. Hands down, best player of our generation, as you said, best maybe we've ever seen. There's nothing like him. Wouldn't you want to do everything in your power to try to keep that player on your team when you have it? He is not only the face of the franchise, he is the brand of the Angels, he is all of the advertising for the Angels, he is all the giveaways for the Angels, he is your main moneymaker. So I'm just putting my Angels hat on as to why they wouldn't do that. Because again, I'm not saying I agree with it, but why they wouldn't. And it has to be because you have to try to do every possible thing in your power to try to keep the best player in the game on your team and on your franchise. I don't know if it's going to happen. I'm not very optimistic that it's going to happen. But if maybe they can stay kind of not super far out of the wild card race and Mike Trout comes back at the end of the season, maybe they make a push for the postseason and maybe they can keep Shohei Ohtani. I don't think it's likely, but that's the other hard side.
They're milking him for everything they can until he's gone. That's why they're not going to trade him. We're going to see a million Shohei giveaways in the second half of the season. We're going to see him, they're just milking him for everything they can, every dollar they can get, every fan they can get in the stands because of him. And they're going to ride that out until the very end. And then they're not going to pay him the money that he's going to get. And that's how this is all going to end. And Angels fans should be pissed off about it.
Isn't that a bad investment, though, when you're thinking about it? Like, let me just get the fast cash real quick right now, instead of thinking of the long-term investment of, okay, I can get some young guys, we can build our franchise, and then in 5 years, maybe we can get back to where we want to be. Because they've had the two best players in the game, and obviously we've seen they can't figure out how to win with both of them.
Well, I guess then the question becomes, where do you want to be? Do you want to be a winner or do you want to make money? And that's not a question for me. That's a question for Artie Moreno, but he's doing just fine. He's making money. He's getting fans in the seats.
Yeah, I mean, that's also the question for the players. And I've always said, that is the player's choice. A lot of players like to just take the money, get as much money as you can, because as an athlete, you have a very small window of making money. Or do you want to take less money and try to build around and build a team and win championships? Kind of like we saw with a Tom Brady.
Yeah, that gets tricky.
I
don't think players shouldn't have to take less money. Ownerships that are billionaires should be asked to, if you want to win. And I'm not saying every team needs to do what Steve Cohen has done.
Oh, they can't.
True, but a player shouldn't say like, well, I want to be on a winning team, so I should take less money. A player is worth what a player is worth, right? And there's going to be a bidding war for players, and the Angels aren't going to be close to the bidding war for ShoheiOhtani because Artie Moreno, I don't think will fork over the money for him. I think he's milking him for all he's worth right now and getting all the money he can, and he doesn't want to give up on that on July 31st. He wants to ride that out through October 5th or whatever it is and have a million giveaways with Shohei and sell out or get more fans in the crowd because of all those giveaways. And then when he goes, and they won't have that massive contract on the books that he has to pay. It's frustrating, but Angels fans should be pissed. It's frustrating.
シアトルへ来い。大谷翔平へ、米球園で異例の大チャントが巻き起こる、敵選手も思わず、凄まじい選手だと驚嘆。千両役者はやはり人気度も次元が違う。現地7月11日にメジャーリーグはオールスターが行われ注目を集めた大谷翔平。エンゼルスはアメリカンリーグの2番指名打者で先発。1回裏に巡ってきた第1打席は相手先発ザック・ギャレンを前にフルカウントから空振り三振に倒れた。結果は凡退に終わったものの、それでも異能の二刀流選手は小さくない話題を生み出した。打席に入った際の1コマだ。普段は敵地であるマリナーズの本拠地 T モバイルパーク全体からカムツーシアトル。シアトルに来いという大合唱が沸き起こったのである。今オフに FA フリーエージェントとなる大谷。それを熟知しているからこそシアトルのファンたちは異例のチャントを送ったのだろう。にしてもその声援の大きさは二刀流選手の人気や知名度の高さを十分に物語るものだった。この驚きの大合唱には現役スターたちも驚嘆している。米スポーツ専門局 Fox スポーツの試合中継で特別にマイクをつけていたナショナルリーグの一塁手フレディ・フリーマン。ドジャースは実況から君たちもチャントを翔平に送りたいかと問われ、いやそれはタンパリング不正になっちゃうからね笑いと冗談を吐露。その上で次のように語った。30球団すべてのチームが翔平を一人ずつ得るのは良いんじゃないかな。笑いこんな光景は見たことがないよ。彼は最高の打者であり最高の投手でもある。本当に言葉にするのも難しいぐらいに凄まじい選手だよ。彼についてどう思うかは毎年聞かれるけど言葉は思いつかないんだ。毎年さらに良くなっていっているからね。球界の誰もが欲しがる大谷。その存在感はやはり唯一無二だ。
ニュースレターは終了しました。面白かったらチャンネル登録してお友達とビデオを共有してください。さようなら、また会いましょう。